Okay guys, so before we start the video, I get marketing, advertising opportunities all the time. Companies want to sponsor this channel, they want to, they want me to do a video about their product. I've turned every single one down until this day, okay? But short form got in contact with me. They're almost like book summaries on steroids, that'd be a great way to describe them. And I just thought this is perfect for what First Man does. It just aligns perfectly with what we promote with self-improvement. It's time-saving. It's just something that I would use, and I would say that has real-world use. So I'm willing to promote it. So what we're gonna do, guys, is just promote it on one video every single week in February. See how we get on, and see if they want to be a part of First Man moving forward. Okay. So just some details. The way that I'm using it is I'm kind of reading up on old books to refresh myself that I read years ago. Just get a quick 20-minute summary. It's perfect for that. And secondly, books that I didn't really ever get a chance to read in the past. And with my life becoming a lot crazier, guys, I don't really have time to read anymore. It's a real shame. I've bought at least 10 books this year that have just sat on the shelf. Okay, I've ended up reading like 10 pages and then I have to shelf it. I have to go and focus on something else. I don't like doing it because books were such a big part of my life back in the day. So, I've been trying to get back into it, and short form was just perfect for that. Prime example was the book The Game. With the industry that I'm in, a lot of you guys have read The Game. I never actually read it. I didn't really ever want to read it because I don't believe in that kind of approach. But it's something that I always knew that I should read and get my head around, just so I've got that knowledge base within that sector of the industry or what's said in the book. So by using short form, I was able to do that today. I was able to just listen to the audiobook whilst working. It's a fantastic tool for me, and there's so many other books on there, for example, that I've read, like Outliers by Malcolm Gladwell, which is fantastic. Thinking Fast and Slow, which is a really difficult book to read. So by having it in a short summary, it's fantastic. You've got books on there like the Seth Godin marketing books. You got Rich Dad Poor Dad type of books. Okay, you got finance books. There's a couple of sports books on there. The categories are quite vast, to be fair. So I'm a fan, guys. As you can see, I wouldn't promote it to you guys if I didn't think it was a useful tool or something that I would do. I actually wish I came up with a company idea myself. But some of the things that's worth noting, I guess, is they have new books every single week, which is obviously very useful. There's a mobile app, there's audio for some books, but not all, but there's, a decent range. And as I said, a great range of categories and books on there. So it is worth it, in my opinion. Now, they've given me a lifetime free membership, so it's different for me, guys, but I'm getting great use out of it. But the price for you guys, if you're interested, the annual price is $16.42 per month. And the monthly price is $24 per month, okay? However, if you use my link below, what you'll get is a 5-day free trial with full access of all the books on there, plus a 20% discount on the annual membership, which ends up being $12.97 per month, okay? So the same price as one book, or if we're going to look at this from a men's lifestyle perspective as, kind of my viewpoint on the world, that would almost be like just 3 pints of beer. So instead of actually going and doing something silly with your money like that and spending it on something stupid, every single morning you can make it part of your daily routine and read a book. This is exactly what I'm doing. I'm so happy because I lost that element from my life, so I can actually add that back in. But check out the link below, guys. You might as well have a little fish around, see what books are on there, maybe sign up to the free trial, listen to a couple of audiobooks. Nothing to lose, you can cancel it anytime. Just see what you think. I think it's a brilliant tool. I'm definitely going to use it, but obviously you guys are going to be paying. So, weigh it up. See what you think, guys, okay? Okay, guys, welcome back to another video. In this video, we're going to be talking about confidence and specifically low confidence. So I've got two very different viewpoints on confidence. As always on this channel, it's always different, and we look at it from a different perspective. And, it's not to say that it's correct, but it's worth a change in perspective, to look at it a different way, to debate in the comments, okay, and share experiences. That's why this channel's so great, in my opinion. But my kind of number one viewpoint on confidence is that confidence in itself isn't a real thing. I've never thought confidence is like a real trait that you can have. Now, you have different moods. You can be feeling yourself. You could be dressed well that day. You could have, you know, if you've made a lot of money in a day, you just kind of swag around with a little bit more spring in your step. That's just mood, okay? You're just a little bit happier. You feel better. You're just feeling yourself. It's completely different. In my opinion, confidence is just a state that we exist within. It's just normality, okay? Once you take away fears, anxieties, depression, you know, all these different things, the insecurities, you end up with a natural, normal state of flow that you fall into, which has been coined as confidence. But I just think it's a normal state that you should exist in. But we've given that confidence. And then the level of that, so high confidence, low confidence, you know, that is all determined based on things like mood, how energy levels, how well you've slept. If you're doing something like NoFap and your dopamine has been reset and you just feel a little bit happier in the moment, and what you've been doing that week. Based on your job, for example, if you're doing sales, you're going to be a little bit more, you know, quicker to the punch when you're talking to people. You're going to be a little bit more articulate. If you've just woken up in the morning, you might be a bit slower. You see, there's all different variables that impact it. But in my opinion, confidence only exists in a state when insecurities, fears, depression, anxiety, all of this is taken out of the equation. You're just left with a state that we've coined confidence. Okay, that's my take on it. I don't think confidence is a real thing. I think it fluctuates based on variables, but I just think it's a state, like a normality of state that we fall into. The reason it's not seen that way, the reason it's seen as high confidence, that guy's lucky or whatever, is because the insecurities, the fears, anxieties, and whatever have become the new normal. You know, people are in that state a lot more than they are in the what would be coined the normal confidence state, okay? They're always fearful of something. Now, I don't know whether that's social media, the media in general, whether it's society, how it is these days, but people aren't like they used to be, okay? Everybody's a little bit more worried about what they don't have, what people think of them, etc. I don't know how this has come about. We can debate that in the comments, but that's just to give you a blueprint of where we're going with this video, okay? Now, my second idea is, I don't personally think that low confidence is something that comes about because of the way that people, you know, originally see it, if this makes sense, okay? I don't think you have low confidence. I think you have low value. And I think that's where the confusion is coming from. People are seeing it as like a negative trait that they were born with, whereas in reality, you've just got low value. It's a completely different argument altogether. Now, to give you some examples of this, guys, let's say you want to approach a woman who's a straight 10 out of 10, okay? Why suddenly do your palms start sweating? Why are you a little bit more breathless? Why has your heartbeat gone up a little bit more? Why is that guy like, oh, I don't want to do this, I'm scared, I'm fearful? Why does that come about? Well, I'll tell you why it comes about, because your brain, this is what your brain does, okay? It rationalizes your reality and it calculates all the data. It computes everything. It takes all elements into context. It takes experience, learned behaviors, learned experience into this equation, if you would, and then it gives you an outcome. So if you're looking at a perfect 10, your brain goes, okay, based on my reality, let's compute all of this, who I am, my standing in the world, my social value, everything added up, my previous experience with doing this, the chance of failure is about 99.5% here. You know, obviously I'm just being stupid there and throwing out numbers, but that happens to a lot of guys. So they don't have low confidence, they just have probably a good perspective, you know, probably a good, healthy, logical perspective on where they are in the world, which is, in my opinion, is a good thing. You know, and if you went up to that woman, she rejected you, it's like, oh yeah, I knew that would happen. Do you know what I mean? Like, you're able to look at other people and judge them, okay? You're able to see some guy in a Ferrari who's 6'4" in a suit and be like, he's the man. You're able to see somebody who's like overweight and just like has like a floppy jawline and be like, oh, he's not the man. So wouldn't you think that your body and your brain and whatever is rationalizing your own scenario, your own situation, your own financials? So you're judging yourself every day, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, okay, guys? People always say it's a bad thing. I personally think it's good to do constant evaluations of yourself, not to the point where you're stressing out, but to the point where you have a good, healthy perspective on the world. You're not one of these egomaniacs that thinks they're better than what they are, because that's a dangerous state to be in. Remember when I made that video, guys, or a couple videos of the average man is actually a 3 out of 10? Well, that changed so many guys' lives because, you know, I got some resistance, and at first a lot of guys were like, fuck, like, you telling me I'm not good enough? That doesn't sound like this channel. But then people started to get it by the time I made the second video, and they were like, actually, you've told me exactly what I need to hear. Because so many guys will be like, I think I'm a 7 out of 10. Chris, why can I not get women? I'm really handsome, I'm in shape, I'm this, I'm doing well for myself, and I still can't get women, so your advice is bullshit. And then they kind of like describe their situation to me, or I dig a bit deeper, and I'm like, but what is your situation? Oh, well, I earn $25,000 per year. I look like this. They might send me a photo of like the shape they're in and whatever. I'm 12% body fat, and I'm thinking, okay, this guy's pretty sure. And then I see the picture, I'm like, this guy's 22% body fat. What was he talking about? And this is the problem. So many people are delusional. So when you actually reevaluate your situation, suddenly the lack of women, the lack of male respect, the lack of quality of life, you go, oh, it all makes sense. I was a lot lower value than I thought I was. Oh, okay, now I can rationalize everything properly, and I know where I need to go, and I know what I need to work on. But when you're sat there going, I'm a fucking superstar, why am I not getting the results? It's like, because you're the chairman of your own fan club, and you're not realizing what's actually going on. You've got to be very logical and truthful with yourself. And that's why I don't think low confidence is a problem. I think it's like an early warning system from your brain where it's just telling you the truth. It's just your brain evaluating the entire scenario and then giving you a very accurate outcome to what you're trying to achieve. So if somebody said to me, jump over this chasm, it's 1,000 foot deep. If you drop, you will die. The chasm is 1 foot. Can you jump it? I'd be like, yeah, in my sleep, easy. Okay, now that chasm is 10 foot. Can you jump it? I'd be going, yeah, I think with a run up, I could probably jump that quite easily, but fuck, like I'm starting to, the palms are sweating here, the heart's going a little bit, which is normal because the brain starts to weigh it up and goes, oh, it's a little bit bigger. What if you slip? What if you misjudge it? What if you like go to jump and you get a bit of a cramp and you lose like 50% of your force? Like, do you see what I mean? There's some variables in there, and your brain, logically and rightfully so, starts rationalizing the new scenario and goes, this isn't too good. So when you're around a group of men, they all earn more. Let's say there's 5 of them. They earn more than you. They're all more muscular than you. They all look better than you. Why would you not have slightly what would be coined as low confidence? Okay, and this is where people get it wrong. Is they go, yeah, but Chris, that's not right. Because you should have natural confidence regardless of who you are. Yeah, maybe you should, but is that healthy? Is that healthy to be strolling around thinking you're something that you're not? Isn't the guy who knows his position, knows his status, isn't he the smarter one in the group here? Isn't he the one that can go, okay, I know what I need to improve on. I know where my standing is. Now, I personally think guys who are confident and don't earn a lot of money, or who are confident and don't look good, not in good shape, can wear like a hoodie and just bum around and they're really confident, I personally think they just have low standards. Because if I don't look my best, I don't feel my best. If all of my money and income got taken away tomorrow, I wouldn't feel as powerful. Of course I wouldn't, because I don't have as much power. Do you see what I mean, guys? Like, if I was in a inferior position to what I'm in now, obviously I'm not going to walk around with the same swag. You might think you would. Oh, yeah, but Chris, that's terrible because you don't have natural confidence. You're clearly faking it. It's not faking it, guys. It's not faking it at all. Like somebody, let's Formula One, okay? If you've got the fastest car, do you think you're going to be a little bit more confident? Yeah. When Usain Bolt lines up to race when he was in his prime, how confident was he? Well, he was confident because he's the quickest guy there. It's easy to be confident when you're the quickest guy on the grid. Do you know what I mean? Like it gives you a little boost, okay? And that's normal. I don't know where this whole thing came from, where you have to look like shit, feel like shit, have no money, have a terrible job, and still walk around like you're a boss. It's like, how on earth are you going to do that? That's delusion. That's ego. I just don't see how that works. So, in my opinion, a lot of guys who have low confidence actually just have low value. You know, and if tomorrow they started boosting themselves up, they'd simply feel better about themselves. Like if I see If I saw a beautiful woman across the road and I wanted to go and speak to her, but I just got out of bed, I look like shit, I've got bad breath, I've got, my armpits are stinking, maybe I've just come out of the gym. Or maybe I haven't come out of the gym, I just smell, because otherwise I'd be pumped up looking a little bit better. And I was just like, I don't really want to go and approach her right now. I see a lower chance of success here. My heart might not be going, my palms might not be sweating, but that would be perceived, even though my state was still calm and I was like, it wouldn't bother me, do you know what I mean? Either way, that would be perceived by the general public as low confidence, whereas in reality, it's just using your tools to the best of your ability. Whereas if I was dressed up, looking good, I'd had a great day, I was feeling myself, having conversations with people and stuff was rolling off my tongue. Maybe I'd made a couple of videos that day and I'd already my brain was in gear and the words were coming out perfectly. I'd be like, hey, I'm going over. I feel good, I look good, I've just come out of the gym, testosterone's up, I haven't been drinking alcohol. I feel strong, I feel fresh, I feel clean. I've just, done my whole skin routine, my skin's glowing, like loads of girls have been looking at me today. There's a high chance of, a positive outcome here. I'm going to make my move. What's so wrong about that? I don't see what's so wrong about that. You're making your life easier. Like I told you guys before with those mini male advantages. I think it's such a smart strategy. And of course you're going to feel more confident when you get positive outcomes. Like so many guys at school get rejected by women so much that they almost fall into this pattern of, I have low confidence, I'm going to stop trying, I'm going to stop working on myself. Well, fair enough, that's not your fault because you've kind of been driven down that hole. But at the end of the day, guys, if you go back to a drawing board and you start to become a someone and you start to put points on the board, which is what I always say to you guys, just get mini wins, just a small little W here and there. A girl smiles at you. You talk to a guy and you get a good handshake in there, you hold eye contact, he looks away first. You go, okay, I'm putting points on the board here. You reinvest. You get paid $30,000 that year and you reinvest $15,000 into something. Okay, now you're thinking my wealth's going to be going up. There's small W's. You're just doing what you can with what you have. Over time, you're going to outrank a sizable number of guys. Okay, and you're still going to have what's perceived as low confidence because you've been told all your life you're not good enough. You've been rejected. That's just the data that your brain's got to go on. Okay, imagine it like a computer. It's gonna weigh up all the L's that you've been taking and go, well, we're probably going to lose again. It's like in sports, if you've ever seen like a form guide, the last 10 games, this team's lost every game. Okay, but is it the same team? Like I support Man City, right, all my life. We often play teams, or we did when we first got rich and we had we started buying all these top players and we became really good. We'd play against a team that was terrible and they'd be like, well, if you look at the previous 10 years between these two teams, Manchester City have actually lost 60% of the games against, name shit team. And I'd be like, yeah, but that's pointless because now we're fucking amazing. Now we spent all this money and we've got the best players, so that's just irrelevant. Well, it's the same in your lives, guys, okay? If you've got low confidence but you're improving yourself along the way and you're getting better and better, and so like I said before, you don't actually have low confidence, you just have these fears, anxieties and insecurities that have come about from rejection at school, other guys outranking you, not feeling confident in certain scenarios, not being good at stuff so it makes you feel shit. It's all learnt behaviors that go in here, limiting beliefs and whatnot. It's all stuck in your system and you need to wipe it out. Here's how you wipe it out. The habit loop, like the feedback loop. Okay, as you get better things are going to happen to you. So as you raise your value, you start getting different treatment. People treat you of a higher standard, okay? As your money goes up and your assets get better and you start dressing better, and then you hire professionals to do certain things like a dietitian, like a beautician or something that takes care of your skin and just like shows you how to do like certain things that makes your skin pop a little bit more. When you actually go to a decent barber and you start getting like properly shaped up and your beard done and your hair done and whatever, well, you start to become a different type of person once you've been in the gym. And I recently saw somebody at a funeral who used to be a fat lump, okay? He used to be the coach's son, just some fat blubbery kid. I saw the coach with this guy and I was like, that cannot be him. That can't be his son. That must be someone else. So I was like, but it has to be because he wouldn't be at the funeral. So I started speaking to the dad and the son came over. I was like, you're not, I'll say his name, it doesn't matter, he doesn't watch the channel. You're not Robin, are you? He was like, yeah, yeah. I was like, Jesus Christ. And the kid just looked so different. Like, he had a jawline. He was always tall, but because he was like really chubby and he had like low testosterone and like a high voice, it was really weird that nobody ever really took him seriously. But all of a sudden, he's got like a fucking six-pack, a jawline. Like, he's bald now. So technically, you'd say, oh, he's worse. But he just looked fucking fantastic. Like, he used to have like some floppy hair, but now he's like some shredded bald guy with a solid jawline, a bit of stubble, wearing like tight-fitted clothing. I'm going to fucking treat him differently. You know, should I do that? No, but people just do. It's just here. You just can't help it. Like, any guys that have ever got in shape and added loads of muscle, they'll know that you just get a ton of respect. Like, you might not be able to fight for shit, but people just give you so much respect. And this is why I think now that that guy has made that transformation, he looks 10 times better, he's 100% being treated differently by men, he's 500% being treated differently by women, his family's probably treating him differently, his friends are treating him differently. When he puts on clothes, he probably goes, damn, I actually look good, this is fitting really well. And his physical performance is better, everything. He probably just feels more confident. And you get into a scenario where you end up being able... You remember the popular kids at school used to do something and it was actually really lame. It was stupid, but they made it cool. And everyone was like, oh yeah, that's actually really good. You get in that kind of scenario where whatever you do, because you look good or you've got high value, like, it just doesn't come off in the same negative way. So your feedback loop is just always positive. Oh, that's good. You look good. Yeah, that suits you actually. Like, you put on some fucking stupid hat and everyone's like, actually, it really suits you because you just permanently look fucking good. Do you know what I mean, guys? I'm just coming up with as many examples as I can. But you're just getting this positive feedback all the time. So those insecurities, fears, and whatever, they disappear. So what you're left in this calm state, which is confidence, okay? Which in reality is just normality. It's just your brain's way of going, I don't really have a fear of doing this. You know, she could say no, but I'm really proud of who I am. I like who I am. If she says no, it won't be because I'm not good enough. It'll be because she's either got a boyfriend or because I'm not really her type. Like, your brain just doesn't fathom she'll reject me because I'm not good enough anymore. You know, and this is where fears and insecurities and whatever come from, because nobody wants to hear that about themselves. And this is why I'm constantly trying to get you guys to evaluate your situation and be like, I'm a 3 out of 10. Fuck, like, I'm a 3 out of 10, that's terrible. And then start to come to terms with it and be like, I'm okay with it. That's okay, that's the position I'm in. I can improve on this from here. And now I can see why I'm a 3 out of 10. Because I haven't done this, I haven't worked on this. I'm only 22 years old, you know, something like that. Once you start adding all this stuff up, you go, okay, yeah, I can build from here. So once you do start to build, when you actually do become a 7 out of 10, for example, an 8 out of 10, you sit there and you go, I've earned this, number one. And number two, I know this to be my true reality. So then your brain's feedback loop, because you're getting positive. This is the thing. You can. These are the people who are really fake. When people say to me, "Oh, Chris, but that would be fake confidence." Here's the people who are really fake. The guys who are strolling around being like, "Yeah, I'm really confident. I don't care about anything. Fuck everybody." But in reality, they deep down know that they're not at that level. Okay, but they're faking the confidence. So it almost seems as though they're really confident. But because their reality isn't reflecting the way that they're acting, they're not getting the results of their confidence anyway. Okay, so it's just like, that's the fakest thing you can do. That's absolutely pointless, because you're walking around like some kind of superstar and going, you know, it's very arrogant. You're walking around like some sort of superstar and being like, I don't need to improve for anybody. I'm as confident as they come. I can do whatever I want. And then, you know, you're not improving. You're not working on things. You're not working in different areas. You're not willing to become better in order to have a better life. I think that's arrogant. I think that's a terrible mindset. I think, like I always say with the Tom Ford quote, making the best of yourself is a show of respect to those around you, to yourself and those around you. I think it's a good thing. You know, and I think it's the same in life. The better version of you that is out there and the more value that you have, the better response people give you because they hold you in higher regards, the better you feel about yourself, the better your life becomes. That's not fake. That's the furthest thing from fake. You're getting great results because of the work you've put in and who you've built as an individual. You should be getting rewarded from that. I don't think that's a problem, okay, guys? So the next time one of you thinks you've got low confidence and you can't get the results that you need, and you go to a job interview and you're scared of course you're scared at a job interview. That person needs to hire you. They're your superior. They're your superior. The reason I never got scared when I went to job interviews is because I was a successful entrepreneur before I had to go and get jobs, but my business got deleted, my income got wiped out. So I knew what level I was at. I'd sit opposite a boss and be like, well, I used to earn $8,000 per month at 23 years old. I'm more successful than you are. You don't earn that. I know you don't earn that. I wouldn't say that, but I'd come down with a notepad and a pen, and I'd start asking them questions from the start. I'd say, before we start, because I want to know if this company's worth having me, I want to know these questions about this, this, and this. Okay, so I'd start asking them all these different questions, really drilling into the company. And then I'd say stuff like, okay, so if I were to join, if me and you were working on this project, how about we put this in place, and this in place? Would that work? Would you be keen to do that? Because if not, we're on different wavelengths here, and I'm not sure I want the job anyway. You know, and that's, like, I wasn't fearful because I knew that I outranked that person. I always thought, well, very soon I'm going to be back to my previous income, outranking you. I've done bigger things than you in life. Like, I wasn't scared. You know, it's a different thing. It's like, if you've dated a woman who's a straight 10 out of 10, you're probably not going to be worried about other women who are 10 out of 10 because you've seen that girl taking a shit on the toilet. And you were like, right, that happens, does it? You've seen her ill with, like, fucking snot hanging out of her nose. You just see different sides of the coin. Or if you're my age and you've seen a perfect 10 glow down to like a 6 out of 10, you go, oh, I'm not worried about women anymore because I've seen that their value does that and our value does this. So your feedback starts to change. But I understand it when you're 21 and you're like, I've got low confidence because your information base isn't as good as somebody like mine. You haven't gone to those heights. You haven't got that level of experience. You haven't, been through the rejection years and then got to the stage I'm at now where I've got those same women that rejected me chasing after me and being like, hey, what you up to? What you doing tonight? Oh, are you still single? I want to take you off the market. You're like, you don't get it, do you? You're not understanding. And our feedback loops are swapping. So I'm getting nothing but positive now and they're getting nothing but negative. It's changing my mindset for the better. And it is changing their mindset for the better because a lot of women need to be humbled. But they're going to be less likely to approach. They're going to be a little bit more like, oh, fuck. I'm standoffish here. I'm on the back foot. That was us before. We were the fearful ones. And we have this in all areas of life. Scientists have found that when you're talking to somebody, if their maxilla bone is more advanced than yours, you could be a little bit more fearful about talking to them. We weigh all this stuff up. We're literally weighing it up. We're like height, muscle, jawline, youth, hairline, stuff like that. We're like adding all this shit up as we're looking at somebody. Body language. That's why it can change your body chemistry and make you more confident and increase your testosterone levels. Okay, that's why body language is so effective, and it can make the other person perceive you as a higher value than what you actually are. That's why all this stuff works, because everybody's downloading data. And everybody's using previous year's data. It's like a business. It's exactly like a business. Or it's like a weather forecast. Oh, this happened last week. This is moving, these clouds. Okay, there's a high chance of rain. There's a high chance of sun. Your brain's doing the same fucking thing. It's just computing all the information. You just need to improve your value and get to a point where your feedback loop becomes positive on a daily basis. So next time you want to go and approach a woman, go to a job interview, have a chat with 4 lads that, previously you used to be scared of, your feedback loop now says, actually, the last 6 months I've been getting some really good results. Do you know what? Actually, in my gym, I'm like top 1% guys. I look pretty fucking good. A lot of people are giving me compliments lately, because this is just your reality. It's not basing your confidence off fakery or basing your confidence off what other people say about you. It's not that at all. It's logical. It's reality. It's what's actually going on. It's living in the real world. And these people who teach you online the secret to confidence, shut the fuck up. The secret to confidence is being the fucking man. It's just having better shit than everybody else, looking better than everybody else, being more jacked than everybody else, just feeling better than everybody else. Don't let all these people try and trick you into thinking that you can build confidence. It's fakery. It's like the book The Game, okay? Like all these guys always said, I could pick up women, but then once the script was gone, I was like, I don't know what to say now. And they didn't have any substance to back it up. If you took a girl out on a date, Valentine's Day's coming up, okay? Let's say a bunch of you guys go out on dates. If you've got £100, $100 in your bank account, would you be confident on that date? You know, you're gonna be meeting her, and you're gonna be like, oh, she's really attractive. I'm a little bit nervous. Oh, I hope she doesn't order too much. I hope she doesn't want to go for drinks afterwards. Or you're about to pay, and you're like, I hope my fucking card goes through. If this doesn't go through, I'm a little bit nervous. You know, you haven't been in the gym for 6 months because of, let's say, the lockdowns or whatever, and you're just not looking too good. Like, you're not gonna feel as good as you would if you were fresh out the gym, fresh out of sauna, looking clean, dressed as good as possible. 20,000 in your bank account, nothing crazy, and you go and pick her up in your brand new car rather than like you jump off the bus and you're like, hey babe, like, do you see what I mean? It's scenario based, and that's normal. I don't give a fuck what people say about this. Yeah, but that's fake confidence. Oh, you're using your money to prop you up. Yeah, well, they're all gifts, guys. Do you think the girl with the nice ass is confident because she's got a great personality? Probably not. Do you think when she puts on that tight dress and the whole world is like that looking at her, do you think it's because she got an A in fucking science 5 years ago? No, okay? It's because of her reality. It's because of the feedback that she's getting on a daily basis. So you don't actually have low confidence, guys. You just have a very, very healthy brain, which is accurate, logical, and realistic, which is good. Because you don't want to be one of those ego-driven, delusional fools that thinks I can get any girl I want because they managed to pull 2 girls in their fucking year 6 class. Do you know what I mean? A couple of years ago. I meet so many guys like this. They always end up being bums in life because they're not willing to address the real problems and improve holistically on a foundational level. So next time you think you got low confidence, just go back to the drawing board. Your brain is probably just highlighting something that you should feel insecure about. Oh, I've got no money. Well, that's a problem. That's a problem. Okay, don't let anybody ever tell you it's fine to, it's a problem. You're out of shape. You're 25% body fat. I'm just low confidence. You're not. You're fat. Okay, go and get in the gym, build a sculpted body, get your body fat down, get your face shredded, natural diuretics, really improve this shit. Start taking some personal pride in who the fuck you are, and put some points on the board, guys. And you watch, the feedback loop will change. And now suddenly your viewpoint of the world is, beautiful woman over there, she'll probably want me. What's wrong with that? It's not delusional, it's accurate. That's how you should be living, okay, guys? So in reality, to recap, you don't actually have low confidence, you just have low value. You know how to fix it. Stop being a lazy cunt.